And we're back here at Cyrus Webb Presents in Los Angeles, or Conversations LA as we're calling it. We're excited to welcome to our program today Shim and Chris of the group Screaming at Demons. Guys, thank you so much for the time today.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Good to be here.
the pleasure's definitely all mine. Congratulations to you, first of all, on the single Rockstar. For our audience joining us on the radio side, make sure you all are listening for that on 94.1 FM in Mississippi. But Shim, what has it been like for you to see the response, not only to this single, but to the way that your fans have really been rallying around the music?
It was a little bit unexpected when the song started to get played on radio so quickly because there hasn't been we don't have we're in the middle of building the process and the labels and management, all that sort of stuff, which usually helps you get on the radio. The thing that was the greatest part about it was just that everybody wanted to come out to help as soon as they heard about the Homeless Rockstars thing.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't something that was a conscious effort, like, oh, we're going to do it for because there'll be all of this great press. But all of these people suddenly came out and wanted to help promote it and wanted to help. And as a result, the song isn't available on iTunes or Spotify. The only way to get it is to donate to Homeless Rockstars. And so as a result, Homeless Rockstars got a lot more donations and were able to do a lot more good with it.
Exactly. So, Chris, for you, I mean, it's part of the great thing for you is that you're doing something that you love, and that's creating music, but also being able to have that, being able to support something bigger than Screaming at Demons.
Yeah, I mean, having our music as a catalyst to help people is pretty much the ultimate thing I think you can do as a band. Anytime you're giving back, you just get that great feeling inside knowing that the music that you created is really effectively changing someone's life. And
Yeah.
the thing I love about Homeless Rockstars and Nigel's charity is the results are so tangible. You can actually watch how the donations that people put in have affected people's lives and what they've done, different careers, and where they're at now, rather than just giving it away to, I don't know, Red Cross, and you don't really ever see what would happen.
Yeah. So, Shim, so for you, I mean, how did this musical journey begin? I mean, when did
Which
you
one?
first realize? Well, as far as with the group, I mean, how did you all realize that you all wanted to be able to create something beautiful together when it came to music?
Well, the band, this band, Screaming at Demons, kind of started with Russell, who's not here, he's the guitar player, when we started working on just music. And then when my previous band, Sick Puppies, disbanded, so to speak, it just was a natural progression of, okay, well now let's turn this into a full-fledged project. And it happened around, the Homeless Rockstars thing happened around the same time as that, at the same time that we met Chris. So Chris and I met at a Hollywood Hills swanky fancy party with all these rich people and stuff, very hoity-toity. And we were like, you're not like one of them. And we started talking about Incubus and Rage Against the Machine. And he's like, I play bass. And I was like, well, that's all I need to hear. Let's join the band. So
Wow. And Chris, was that part of the fun, the connection that you all were able to make and the pureness that you all both saw in the music?
Sometimes you just meet someone and you just hit it off a certain way, and you just know you're like, kind of like how you and Russell met. When you guys met, you're like, I'm gonna work. He said to you, we're gonna do something together, which is kind of offhand. Like, who says that to someone when they just meet
well,
you?
Russell.
Well, yeah, definitely. But no, we just started hanging out and jamming, and the songs that we worked on came out really naturally and easily, and
It's a good chemistry.
yeah.
I think, and as a result of us all having been players in different bands before we started working together, there's a shorthand that comes from that experience. So it's a very satisfying process from the get-go, because you're not sitting there like waiting for someone to catch up, or you're catching up with them, or any of that stuff.
Right.
And because we all listen to the same bands, and we've been able to work with drummers and with singers and all this stuff before, you're like, okay, you're going there, so I'll go here, and it just sort of, having that experience really makes it very satisfying to start a band like hitting the ground running.
Right, exactly. Shim, you mentioned about how fast this single, Rockstar, was taking off, especially going to radio. I want to talk about the fans for a moment, because, I mean, it's one thing to love what you do. It's a totally another thing to have people who you've never met, quite frankly, be able to join you all online on Facebook or the different social media sites. I mean, do you still have those wow moments where you look at it and say, wow, I mean, that we're really touching people?
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the Homeless Rockstars launch, which Chris was pretty much pivotal in organizing, we were able to get so many people there, and the feedback from it instantly was, how do I get more involved? How do I get more involved? And that's when you realize that you're doing something relevant. it was also really interesting that right after that happened, a lot of these high-profile people started to kind of come out of the woodwork, and since then, Chad Smith is a good friend of Chris's, and now he's playing on the next couple of songs of ours. And you know, these people are paying attention to the work that we're doing. I've never had that in my career before, where there's this top shelf. People that don't need to care or especially give their time and energy are like volunteering it.
Right.
Which is, I like to think, hey, that means maybe our songs are okay, but also there's a element of it where karmically it kind of comes back around to you.
Right. Chris, I mean, do you think a big part of the connection too is that people can, as you all as bandmates, are being able to feel the genuineness in each other when it comes to what you're creating, that's what the fans also feel. They feel the genuineness of why you do what you do.
Totally. I mean, there's nothing more authentic than what we're doing and real than what we're doing. And I think when people feel that there's, you know, a real movement behind music, they want to get involved.
And I think there's evidence of that in the fact that we didn't make the song available on iTunes or Spotify. It was an exclusive release,
Exactly,
that will stay an exclusive release to raise money for the charity, which we couldn't have done if we were signed to a major label.
Yeah,
Right.
They would have found a million ways to say, no, we got to make money off this somehow. And having this particular time where we're between labels, well, hopefully between labels, the fact that we were able to is half the reason we did it. We were like, well, if you can, you should.
Right. What a great thing. You know, Chris, to go back to you, and then Shim, I want to get your thoughts on this. You know, part of what's happened, and I've seen it when I was prepping for this segment with the two of you through social media, is that you all are not only having fans, you also are inspiring people to do what they love. I mean, you're showing them by example what's possible and how you can do it and be true to yourself. I mean, what does that feel like to know that people are looking at their own goals and dreams differently because of what Screaming at Demons is doing?
It's great. I mean, what else to really say? You know, it's awesome to inspire people. I don't think that's really why we did it, but if people, you know, get inspired by it and want to become involved and help out, it's awesome.
Yeah. Shim, what about you? I mean, as you said, I mean, you're having this support, but it's really them supporting you, but also realizing what others can do if they go for it.
Yeah, I've been lucky. In my previous band, there was a video called the Free Hugs video. Check it out if you haven't seen it, which was very, very popular a while. It was like the first viral video. And that created a lot of good vibes. I don't know, like a lot of people did homage videos and stuff like that. And it created something much bigger than anything that I had ever done. And after that happened, you get a feeling from it. You get a feeling of purpose and sort of an artistic euphoria, because you're like, oh, it's like creating a child or something. Like, this is so much more than me. And when you have that, and that's like a drug, and you want to chase it. So I've kind of been chasing it ever since, and it wound up affecting my lyrics dramatically. When I would approach songs, I was like, okay, how much good can I do right now? How much impact, how much change, or how much good can I do with this 3.5 minutes in a little song?
Yeah.
And that's kind of and that's why the Homeless Rockstars thing basically happened, because when Nigel called me and said, can you write a song? I was like, hell yeah, I can write a song. That's what I can do.
Right. Right. And I think that's the other thing that I want our audience to take away from this conversation with the two of you guys. And that is, you do what you can with what you have. And you all are using your gifts, and that's what you have. You have your gifts. And those gifts are able to allow you now to be able to help other people, as well as, of course, to do as we were just talking about, to be able to inspire other people. Again, everyone, Shim and Chris of the group Screaming at Demons have been our guests. Make sure you all are going over and getting the single Rockstar. And Chris, how can our audience be able to get that and support the group?
You know, to get the song, just go to homelessrockstars.com, or you can text Rockstar, all one word, to, what is it,
91999.
Yeah, 91999.
Okay.
And for all the news, just go to screamingatdemons.com.
All right. Shim, Chris, thank you all so much for being a part of our visit to Los Angeles. And I hope you will be able to stop by the program again when we're in town.
Definitely.
Thanks so much for having us.
Hey, glad to do it. Also, look for my conversation with the two of these guys and more coming up on Conversations Live, the radio show. So stay tuned to our website for that.